Body Proportions 101. Grab my Starbucks cold coffee and let's drink it together. Make sure to follow me on social media. Let me know what you think about my podcast, the Elegant Lady Podcast. And I can't wait to share with you those tips. That's groundbreaking. Have you ever noticed you can meet 3 ladies and each one of them is the same height? However, one looks tall and one looks shorter. And you ask yourself, okay, what is making that whole of a difference? Okay, that is it. Body proportions. You look taller or shorter based on your body proportions. How to measure that? You know those embarrassing shots of your body if you are trying to lose weight? That's what we're going to do. Just stand in front of the camera and take your vertical picture from the front, from the back, from both sides. We're not trying to be Weight Watchers or anything, but we're going to be measuring. Let's start with the first thing that you notice. Is your head in comparison to your body smaller or bigger? Bigger your head, the shorter you will appear, even if you are tall in numbers. So just forget the 170, 160, 150. By the way, I'm 156 centimeters tall, but people don't see that. And the first contributor is that my head is generally smaller than my body. So this is the major indicator. But let's say the head is not that big of a deal. Your head is not big and not small, it's just average. There are other things that contribute, but once you rule the first thing out, things start to get easier. First measurement you need to do is how tall is your torso versus your body. There are measurements for this. There was a way I saw before on TikTok and I loved it, is to measure. Okay, wait a second, that will not look professional. But if you put your arm under your breast area and you put your other hand underneath, is it touching your belly button or not? If it is on top right away, your belly button, you have a balanced torso. If it is below your belly button, you have a short torso. If it is higher than your belly button, it is a long torso. In my case, I have a balanced torso, and that explains a lot. That will make me look balanced, not too short and not too tall. However, if you have any difference, just note that down. I want you to write these things down. Mark your image, write down how long is your torso versus your body by the test I did right now, and that will tell you a lot. Now let's measure between your belly button, between the belly button and your widest hip bone. How much do you have? This amount will also prevail for you if you have a longer pelvis or not. That's also another indicator of what jeans would look better on you. Can you imagine that? Because think about it. You can be wearing high waist, it looks ugly on you. Someone else could be wearing low waist, it looks beautiful on them. And this is all because of this, from the navel until the pelvis bone. How long do you have that area? So you have the torso, upper torso, lower torso, and combined. Now that you measured these two, let's measure the legs, how long your legs are. There is the upper leg, the lower leg, and what cuts them off is the knee. Some people, they have the upper leg taller or longer than the lower leg. If you have them both the same size, usually you look your height. If it's shorter, the upper leg from the lower leg, in that case, you will appear short, even if you are 170 centimeters tall. Shocking, right? But don't worry, I have tips in order to conceal this. Not to look taller than you are or shorter, but it can also make you the master of how you want people to perceive you, which is exactly why I'm making this video. And it will make you choosing your clothes very, very much well, because you know what fits and what doesn't. Let's say you have a longer upper leg. You will appear taller regardless of how short your torso is or how long your torso is. It's kind of a balance of things in that regard. If you have short torso and long legs and you wear a mini skirt, it would look really, really short on you. While in fact, if someone have a balanced leg and a normal torso or a longer torso, it will look on them pretty decent, not too showing off too much leg, if you know what I mean. So it's all about the proportions here and how you can calculate that. There is also another aspect that we have to look at. How long is your arms versus your body? Does your palms stop at your belly button, underneath your belly button, at your hips bone, underneath the hip bone. This will determine how long or short your arms are. After taking all these measurements, let's actually think about a golden ratio rule. What is this golden ratio? This is like if you want to scratch out everything you own to have the perfect fitting items. The first area I would say you start with is skirts, because it's so easy to determine a skirt that fits you from what does not. So to find the hemline that is perfect for you, and by hemline I mean the hemline of a skirt or also of a dress, both will fit your body properly. What you do is you measure your body from your shoulders to your toes in centimeters. So if you are in the US, try a converter, convert it into centimeters, take that number from shoulders to legs. Okay, and then if you plan to wear heels, listen out, add the centimeters of the heels. So for example, if you're buying a dress to wear at a wedding or a gala, measure the heel height you have, or the other way around. Don't add more than X. So this is how you kind of balance it out also with shoes. If you haven't watched my previous video about the shoes etiquette, watch it. This also will be a gem for you to find your perfect fit and perfect style. So what you will do, again, you measure the length from your shoulder to your toes, and then divide that number by the golden ratio number, which is 1.618. And the result will be your golden number. What is this golden number? This is what's going to be used to identify your hemline, okay? So you take that number and you measure it from your shoulder to that number. Okay, diagram. Here is your body. We have your shoulder, we have your toes. We measured from shoulder to toe and divided it by 1.618. The number that you get, measure it from the shoulder to that number, and that will be your perfect hemline. Hope that makes sense. And take that number, take this formula, I don't know, print it out, stick it to your closet door. So whenever you are choosing to wear a dress or a skirt, this is tied into your head. And for me, what I do is that I don't buy any skirts or dresses that do not fit perfectly my hemline. And also something, if you have something that is longer than that, you can cut it, take it to a tailor, cut it yourself and fold it. You can buy those iron on for the hems. Sky's the limit, but to get your skirts to fit you perfectly and make your body look balanced. Okay, now if you found out you have a short torso from those measurements, what do you do? When you have a short torso, you try to elongate. So V-necks really elongate your torso. Corsets, on the other hand, show how short of a torso is. Shirts that show the belly button and show your belly will not look good if you have a shorter torso, so steer away from them. Of course, there are some celebrities that celebrate their longer torsos. Something, if you want to notice how people could be dressed nicely, there's a star, by the way, a celebrity or a model that looks the part with the proportions you will have. So don't feel alone. That's just the beginning. Today, we are identifying in order to know how to dress better, and that's the whole point. You take that measurements and try to see, okay, if I have a short torso, any corset, any crop top will enhance that, will make it more significant. If I want to hide it, I can wear V-necks. I can, for example, wear things that flare, so they are tight on the waist and they flare from the waist downwards to hide where my hip bone is. That also helps elongate. If you have unbalanced legs, so the top part and the lower part, shorter or longer, in order to make yourself look taller, what you do is you wear pants that are not tight on the knee, and by that you give the illusion of longer legs. So flared pants, palazzo pants, wide-legged pants, all of these fit beautiful. Don't go and wear a skinny because it will highlight the issue unless you want that. Another thing you can also benefit from is, think about it. If I want to make myself look taller, this item of clothing would not make me look taller because of my proportions. How can I combat that? Sometimes wearing a nude heel helps because it elongates the leg. Wearing heels in general gives you a bump in height. It enhances your hemline. It also enhances how tall you look in general. Of course, there is 3 layers of your body proportions. One of them is the generic body shape, which means, okay, if I bring my body and draw a line around it, do I see a pear shape, an hourglass, a triangle, inverted triangle, or a rectangular shape? These are all beautiful body shapes, but you have to identify your body shape in order to know who you are. But this is just looking at the proportions. So we looked, if I take styling you from scratch, what do I look at? I look at your body shape, pear shape, apple shape, all of these terminologies. A second layer is how fleshy versus bony you are, and that's the Kibi method body guide, and I made a video about that before. And also on my website you can find, or blog, you can find the test to identify yourself. That's very helpful, so you know yin and yang, how fleshy you are to bony, what is the overall shape of you, and now your body proportions. I bet you are going to be the best stylist for yourself ever that came to life. You can make yourself look much more balanced than you are. A lot of girls say, okay, how do models, overweight models, look awesome? Because they know these things. That doesn't make sense when you tie how heavy you are or how thin you are to your body proportions, because there is out there examples that know this, and knowledge is power. They know this and they know how to dress for it. A great way to know body proportions and the difference between them is to look at celebrities in one picture. There was a picture of Kelly and Kylie when they were younger, next to each other in bikinis, and you can definitely see, although their knees are the same length of their height, and also they're different heights, so put that in mind, but the knees are the same spot. One of them has longer legs, one of them has shorter legs, one of them has proportioned legs, so the upper and the lower equal, the other has one longer than the other. So start analyzing this. When you see something looking good on someone, ask yourself, okay, what makes them look better than I do when I try the same item? And you have to try everything. But actually, the more I knew my body type and analyzed it, the lesser I needed to actually try the things, because now I know from like the get-go, this will not fit me, this will. And that will help you in online shopping quite a lot, by a significant amount. I hope that video is helpful, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like it, dislike if you didn't like it, leave me a comment of your findings. I'm excited to know yours, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a happy life, booze. Bye bye.